Hey, we're live.
Hey there.
We're masked too. It's flashing.
Wear a mask. No,
Yes,
these
but
are super cool. USB rechargeable flashing. Thank you, Sabina, for turning us on to
the
these.
RV Crazy Couts, they know every cool USB gadget. El Sabina does, and so when she showed us the mask she was wearing for her birthday, we had to get them too. Haven't had many excuses to wear these out and about because we haven't had much nightlife, but
But we wear them around the house. It's
yes.
fun.
So there we are. Ding.
Gotta have fun with the masks. You know, they're a part of our life now. And just have fun with them. That's what we're all about. If you want your own USB rechargeable mask, you can get them on Amazon. I did put a link in the description to this video. But good evening. I am Cherie.
I'm Chris.
And we are Technomadia. Oh, I'm Chris tonight.
Yeah.
You're Cherie. Okay, cool.
We're Technomadia. Welcome to our channel. We've been doing this a long time. We love it when people hang out with us live like this because it's fun.
And it's all about fun.
And because we can't hang out in person right now. So
not too much.
So what we're going to talk about tonight is basically how we're staying sane while we are quarantined here in Sanford, Florida.
I guess technically it's not quarantine anymore. People are starting to move about the country more. It is people are feeling a little bit safer, but here in Florida, our numbers are spiking crazily. So we're being extra cautious, and we're considering ourselves still in mostly quarantine mode.
Yeah.
But we are going on 3 months of being stationary in Sanford. And when we came to Sanford, we intended just to be here through hurricane season because we are inland. It's probably one of the safest places to be on the East Coast or anywhere in the hurricane zone.
Particularly in Florida, yeah.
So we've still got at least 3 or 4 more months here.
Yeah, so we picked a great spot for that, but that doesn't mean we are stuck here in this spot. So we're going to share how we've been mixing it up to keep some adventure and variety in our life by, hey, we've got a boat, we've got a van, we've got feet. And so, yeah, we've been out having as much of a good time as we can. And we're mostly doing well. We have some down days and freak out days.
Oh, yeah, I think we all
do.
Like
everybody right
There's
now.
a lot going on in the world right now. It all weighs on us all every so often. And I think it's important that we feel it every so often. But it's also important that we come back to positivity and hope. At least that's what I keep telling myself. Sanford has come back to life. It is a lot of what we fell in love with again, except for it feels scary to go out in the evenings because it is so freaking crowded.
Yeah, the streets are. It's in a lot of the places. Some places are still taking the CDC rules very, very seriously, and some other places are like, oh, I guess it's over with, and it makes you a little nervous going around at night. But the town is great, and the town has come together. I'm wearing a shirt from the during the when restaurants were closed and everything else on just takeout only. Some local organization put together an eye stimulated
Sanford.
Sanford, yeah, Sanford movement and card where you can go out and collect all these little cards for spending money on food, and then eventually you be able to redeem those for a T-shirt.
Yep.
To show
So,
that you supported the restaurants in their time of need. So,
yep. So we're mostly doing takeout still. There's a couple restaurants that have great outdoor areas that if it's not too crowded, we feel okay eating outdoors with. And we are being we're dipping our toes into social life. We do have a lot of friends and family in the area, so we try to limit ourselves to one social outing a week so that there is good contact tracing and, of course, social distance and masks.
But it's
been really good. It's been really good for the soul.
It's been just basically one social outing a week. It lets us still feel safe. Lets us feel like we're being responsible to them. So both sides can say, "Hey, I might have been exposed to something." And we can share that. Contact tracing is important, but you still get that connection. And I think just about every week we've had a good social connection, which has been
really good. And of course, my mom Linda's in the room. We try to get together with her once or twice a month, and high priority for us to always feel safe being able to see her, even if it's socially distanced. Your parents had headed back to St. Louis, but we were spending time with them as well.
We got to see them before they headed back to St. Louis for the summer. So we're doing stuff like that. That's and I encourage other people, like, find ways within your own safety tolerances to go out and do what you feel comfortable doing. And still get a little bit of social connections.
It's really good.
There's some parts of the country that are still in supreme lockdown. There's some parts that are probably way too unlocked down. You've got to decide what look at the data, trust the scientists, not the politicians, and do what is smart.
Find your own balance. Yes. Really, we found ours now. Business is keeping us very busy. Suddenly, a lot of people are working remotely, and RVing in particular is going crazy because it is seen as the next safe way to travel, and I can't argue with that.
No.
So we're getting our Mobile Internet Resource Center is getting a lot of new members, which we love welcoming new members there, and a lot of changes. I mean, we got low Earth satellites coming online, 5G. Wi-Fi 6, lots we're covering.
So we've had a lot of articles, a lot of stuff we've been doing there. That's mobile internet info. We don't like to talk about the internet stuff on Technomadia because this is our fun place. This is our fun side of our life. But our work life is mobileinternetinfo.com, and that's definitely keeping us crazy busy.
But there's concern. Being here 3 months is okay. That's kind of at the long side of what we might have to be still for. In all our 14 years of travel, we've only taken really 2 lengthy stays. That was when we were in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah, Virgin Islands for 5 months.
And our last stay in Sanford for 4.
4 months.
So we knew being still for as long as we were planning here was going to make us a little stir crazy. So I'm thankful that we have ways to mix it up. First way is we have our camper van here. Best decision ever to buy that thing.
Yeah, so instead of having our little car, our Mini Cooper that we had a bit over a year ago, now the van is if we do need to make a run. We've done a few grocery trips and a few restockings or just errands like that. But it's more than just a van. It's a camper. And so we can now that the Florida State Parks are open, do some little socially distanced camping and take the van out. That's been wonderful to do.
The state parks have really done a really good job of doing contactless entry. You pay online, you reserve online. And you just go to your site. It's so super easy. They're so well maintained, and the sites in Florida are usually fairly large, so you can be very self-isolated, not even interact with anybody else unless you choose to. Yeah. We do have some upcoming trips planned with friends. We'll be getting together with the glamping guys soon, as well as Sabina and Eckert of RV Crazy Crowd. And Joe, you're joining us for one of those, right? So I hope Joe's joining us for one of those.
Because camping's great because you could be separate but together, which is wonderful and a great way to responsibly do it. We just spent some time at Tomoka State Park on the water, so had beautiful sea breezes because here in the center of Florida it's getting kind of hot and stagnant, so being out on the coast was really nice and
beautiful. And quite honestly, Kiki loves camping. God. I mean, the boat life, she just pretty much naps all day long. We play with her, we try to keep her engaged, but for her to go chase things, stalk things, and be engaged with things, we have to take her up on shore, and especially in this heat, she doesn't want to go.
No, but in the woods, she is up, and as soon as the sun comes up, she's wants to go outside and spends all day jumping, pouncing, hunting. and just hanging out in the trees. She is such a happy cat in the woods, and so she's going to insist.
I think it's time. I prepared a couple video clips from our last 2 camping trips.
So here is some camping highlights. So it's fun to get out in the woods. And oh wait, we got masks again.
How did that happen?
So we're just showing off some of our stylish masks because it's fun to dress up. Hey, you got your Pride one on.
This is my Pride one.
Yeah, yep. June. We got Pride masks for June.
So actually, having fun with the masks. We try to wear them anytime we're going anywhere where we're going to be interacting with people. Out of respect for others, and because they're cool. And if you have fun with them, they're fun. They're part of their accessorizing.
Yes, it's accessorizing, and it sets a good example. It encourages people that because you're not wearing the mask as much for yourself as you are for all the people around you. And hey, that sounds like a good thing and a good example. Awesome. We should all take care of each other as best we can.
So anyway, camping trips have been amazing. So we've done 2 so far, and we've got several more booked as the summer goes on. So we're super looking forward to those, especially those that we're going to be out camping with some friends. I see Larry Overstreet's in there. He and Mary Beth came over. He's one of our social distance luncheons we did recently. It was awesome.
Yes. The lunches, that's actually one of the things that's been nice is there's enough outdoor dining here in Sanford that we can meet up with somebody, have a picnic table far apart with them, get some good craft beer or ciders or other good drinks and good food and be outside. And we've been liking that.
It's been really good. So besides, taking the van out for trips, we have also been able, there's great anchoring out here in the Sanford area. So we can just head back up a little bit up the St. Johns River and find some anchorages off the side. So we've been doing that. We can go out on good weather days, go out and anchor in the lake here at Lake Monroe.
Yeah, we've just been going just basically 2 miles across the lake, and it's such a great way to break up just the the change of scene, and then being on the other side of the lake, we take the dinghy ashore. There's wonderful walking trails over there.
And actually, our closest grocery store is at that boat dock across the lake. So we take the dinghy on shore. We walk a block and a half. Actually, there's great hiking trails around. We'll do some hiking, and we go to the grocery store, mask up, have our hand sanitizer, have our gloves, do all our grocery shopping, and get it back out to the boat. And it's been really good to do it in person because otherwise we do grocery delivery, and that's got its pros and cons too.
Yes, you never quite know what you're going to get sometimes.
So here's some footage that we put together about our boat anchoring out recently.
Hey, and here's our nautical chart right here. So this is how we're navigating the boat.
And of course, you have to have rainbow farting ponies. Right? That's just, you have to.
Yeah, it's got to be fabulous with your masks.
Have fun with them. I've been ordering all these on Etsy. So
she's actually kind of addicted. It's
I might be addicted.
I ordered a few more masks. They're coming in. So Okay.
So yeah, anchoring out has been sublime.
Particularly when
Except,
it's not super hot.
yes, it's getting a little hot now where if it's not breezy enough, we don't get enough wind in here, then we're running the generator to run the air conditioner.
Yeah. But even, you know, because it's nice because we just go out there and have a work day out on the water, and it just changes your whole vibe floating and swinging on the hook. It's just a completely different feeling than being at dock. And we've even been out there to be able to watch rocket launches because you know, there's rockets taking off 40 miles
that way. We got to watch Crew Dragon go up. We got to watch a couple of Starlink launches.
Yes.
So super cool to be able to do that from here. But okay, so
now the scary part. This is
a
PG-13, maybe. Our video now.
So if you flash back to our last stay in Sanford, all wonderful, all great, except for those stupid midges. And that was not in midge season. So when we were evaluating if where we're going to hunker down for COVID and potentially hurricane season, Sanford was top of our list because of all the awesome reasons why we love Sanford. But we knew the midges were going to be an issue.
There was one big reason that had us leave Sanford. You can go back and see our videos from last year of like why we were so eager to get out of Sanford was the midges. And fortunately, where we are docked this year, our spot in the marina gets a lot less because we're not as exposed. We're no longer on the end dock there. So it's been actually, we got lulled into a false sense of security, maybe.
And Sanford is doing a pretty good job spraying them. We do have swarms here, but they're not anything yet as bad as anything we experienced in the off season when we were here a year ago. This is now season for midges. It's technically March through October.
I thought it was March through March.
I think it really is March through March. That's my assessment. But yeah, so far, crossing fingers, it hasn't been that bad, except for
we went out. It was, oh my God, it was like such a perfect day. We decided to go across the lake. We actually left in the late afternoon, just went across the lake, had cocktails at sunset. Beautiful day. We were planning to go take the dinghy up to see Gemini Springs the next morning.
There's a new spot in the lake, a new anchorage for us.
New spot in the northwest corner of the lake with a new spring to explore. And as the sun is setting, the bugs are starting to appear. And
this is the worst midge storm we have ever had. If you are sensitive, you might want to close your eyes
and
to this one.
cover your children's eyes because this is a little bit terrifying. This is the worst midstorm you've ever seen. Making everything green. The midge poop. This is puddles. Midge poop. Ay, ay, ay. Suck a midge? Suck a midge. Oh my gosh. That day, I've never been happier to wear a mask.
Masks came in so handy because those things are swarming.
And they don't taste so good. They
taste like dead fish.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, so I decided to go with my skull mask. I think that's appropriate.
Oh my gosh. Yes, yeah. So we have never seen before the midges that turn into the green goo. And
so there apparently are two different types here in Seminole, Volusia County. There's the little ones that we tend to get here at the dock. They are tiny, they swarm a little, they die, gone. These guys were huge. They're at least 3 times the size of a midge. They were more red in color, and they poop green everywhere.
And so that, I mean, this was just overnight. We went to bed and there's just a few bugs outside, and when we come out in the morning, and that's what we saw as the sun was rising.
You're like, okay, midges, we're used to that.
Yeah, no, and that, like, the surfaces were green, and at first, I mean, they weren't, that green wasn't going away. You see it rinse away, but it was leaving green stains. We thought we had a green boat for a little bit. It was like, will we ever be able to clean this? Oh my god,
it was horrible. We spent a full day cleaning. So once we got back,
basically
number one, I wish we had a drone photographer, or we had thought about it to get images of us going around in circles in the lake.
S's in the lake and on plane as fast as we could go, trying to lose the cloud. It was,
because I was out there. We took turns driving the boat and batting the midges, getting them to swarm, and hoping the boat was going faster than they could fly. Then after we got probably about 2 million of them off the boat, billion, whatever, it was crazy. We got back to dock, and we didn't want to bring them back to dock because we didn't want other people to have to deal with them. I mean, I really didn't want to bring them back.
But we needed more water pressure.
We were out of our water supply at this point. And yeah, we needed more pressure than our pump.
Yes. Oh, so yeah, that has been our one big horrific experience. It's kind of put us off from, like, maybe we'll go spend more time van camping instead of trying to anchor out on the lake just in case it happens again. They tell us, everybody here said they've never quite seen it that bad, even the people who've been here for years. So maybe we just were in the wrong spot. It was midge orgy time.
Oh, I don't
know, but
it was crazy. But yeah, so we spent a whole day. So what we had to do all day long is you spray them down with dish soap. So just like Dawn soap that's been diluted.
Because if you just spray them with water, they just fly in the air and then come back and land.
So that gets them to basically not be able to swarm, and then these ones actually died with it. So we would go through with a layer of dish soap. All we had was a squeezy bottle. We had gotten rid of our sprayer from the last time we were here, so we have one now. Spray them down and then wash them off the boat and then repeat. Well, I think we did that 6 times during the day.
Oh, we washed the boat so much.
And then you scrub. Some of the green started coming up. And then we had our boat washer come and give the boat a good cleaning.
The next day.
And the green goo, once they're in sun for a while, it actually goes away with just UV light. So
yeah, but good. Still, we're still clearing carcasses away. But to help you get the imagery out of your head, we've got, this looks like the green goo running down, actually, but this is much better goo. We're going to have some wine now and see if you guys just want to turn some Q&A time. Let's talk about things other than bugs.
Yeah, so that's how we've been keeping sane here in Sanford. It is starting to get warm in the afternoon, so we're just working during the day.
And having wine delivery.
Yes, I'm having wine just delivered from Total Wine. We get about a case every other month or so.
And we've discovered there's a winery in Sanford now, so we've been actually now we've got 4 breweries, a cidery, a distillery, and a winery, all within walking distance. So, and plus like 2 craft beer places and craft cocktail places. So yeah, Sanford's helping us avoid the plague. Cheers.
Cheers to you. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for being here for us. Okay, so
let's see what's over in the Q&A. We haven't been paying too much attention to the chat.
Oh, there's a question right there.
But here, here we go.
That's pretty good. That'll take midges away. All right, so Joe Van says, do you think you'll be cruising at all this year or just staying in Sanford till it's time to store the boat?
We hopefully will do a few more trips on the river. Maybe if we feel inspired, we might go as far down as Lake George or something. I can't really see going much further than that, particularly because, like, where else would you go?
Yeah.
This time,
as far as resuming, like, the Great Loop, not this year. No.
I think all the canals are basically not even going to really open this year. So this is not a good year to be cruising and looping.
No, we are here through at least, we're going to base in Sanford through at least October, through the end of the peak of hurricane season. It's expected to be a crazy one this year. And this is a pretty safe place to be because we're so far inland. We'll probably do side trips, but that'll be it. We might do like a cruise up the river, down the river and back. But mostly, no, we're going to be here in Sanford, based in Sanford, hoping that hurricanes don't impact us. If they do, this is about as safe as we can be.
And this is such a central place that it's easy for us to branch off and do little boat adventures, little van. I mean, and friends, and then have friends. We're central to Florida, so people from all over can rendezvous with us. And
beyond that, it's so hard. What's going to happen with the pandemic is going to be safe to travel? Will it be worthwhile? I mean, Arizona's just as crazy right now with COVID, where our bus is. Is
Yes.
it even going to make sense to return to Arizona this winter? We don't know yet.
Arizona and Florida are trying to decide who's going to ramp up the fastest on the yeah. So
So we don't
we
know.
don't know. I know that's the same for everybody everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we're all just making it each one day at a time.
Yeah, it may end up that we end up just storing the boat here in Sanford for the winter. Maybe we do go out and visit the bus for a little bit. I'd love to get it out of the storage lot and back onto our owned lot, because the park that we're at, they're not renting out lots right now to
Yeah.
protect their residents from COVID. So we're not benefiting from the rental
Yeah,
pool.
we thought we'd be doing a good thing, leaving our lot open so that everybody could rent it, and it's in the rental pool. It's benefiting the community, and now our lot's sitting empty, and our bus is in storage, unplugged. It's got solar, but it'd be if it was plugged in, it could have a little bit more shade and some air conditioning running. So,
Oh well.
hey, we got a question here from Cindy, I think. Any word yet about the Escapers get together being on or off at New Year's? I sure loved your video coverage of the last one. Oh my god, that feels like about 1,000 years ago, but that was such an amazing time.
Yes, I know the planners of Escapers are still moving forward with the plans, but they too are playing things and just seeing how things evolve. I know they sent out a survey to Escapers about a week or so ago just to get our opinions on if we would attend. And honestly, I would say even if they were hosting it, I'm not sure I would be comfortable attending something that large of a group.
Certainly, potlucks are out, and a lot of the like really inside close social events. RVers know how to be social and distant. I mean, that's actually what a lot of us. That's how we get together anyway. So maybe something will come together, but it's way too early to try and plan anything big. So I feel for anybody who's an event organizer right now, because it's just you don't know where this is going to be in 6 months.
Yeah, and I just don't know when it's going to feel safe to go to a large event again.
Yeah.
So, Doug would like to know, do we have hurricane insurance on Why Not? And
yes, absolutely.
Yes. When we bought our boat 3 years ago, we knew that we were going to be in Florida for the first full year as we were getting our sea legs and learning how to operate our boat. So we specifically got a policy that covered us in Florida for hurricane season. So we have kept that policy because, well, we've ended up in Florida for many hurricane seasons. We have good faith in our policy because our insurance company had no problem paying out for the slight damages that we had during Hurricane Irma.
I think in Irma they were just very happy that we weren't sunk like all the other boats around.
And we had minor claims in comparison to most. So yeah, we had the same policy that we have had since we bought the boat, and hopefully it covers us in the future.
Throw in some questions here because we're running out here. And okay, Margot. Hey, Margot, it's so awesome to see you popping up here. How's Canada?
One of our Escapers friends from Bash last year.
That was one of our highlights of Bash, was meeting Margot. So she says the tickets are on hold for all events through 2020. So it is smart. I would not encourage anybody to be selling tickets to anything now. You can make plans, but always have your backup plans and your backup plans. And hopefully we'll find an excuse to get together with Margot again. But who knows when that will be? And Michael, and oh my God, his new what is he calling it, the chateau or the cottage? The truck camper he built is amazing looking.
Yes. Milo
wants to know about, if you were ever to do another bus conversion, would you stick to vintage?
So number one, I'm not sure that we'll ever do another bus conversion. We're extremely happy with Zephyr. I could see us doing some further upgrades and modifications in the future. I have some ideas for some layout changes.
The only thing that I've long said, the only thing that would tempt me away from Zephyr as my dream RV would be something that was electric powered and or had self-driving. If I can get an RV that I can get in and say, hey, take me to New Mexico and I'm gonna go take a nap and watch some TV and have some food, beep, ring me if you need anything, and just let it drive all night, that's the kind of RV I would upgrade to. But most other, I can't think of anything else I'd want to start from scratch on a conversion. The vintage ones are so cool.
They are. Jonathan has a question. Once things calm down, do you still have plans, desires to cruise to the Bahamas or further into Caribbean? And absolutely. We were actually hoping to get there this spring before we really started to think about see how lockdowns were going to impact things.
Yeah, we bought a water maker in part because we're thinking the Bahamas might be in our future, and before we had a chance to get to the Bahamas were in complete and total lockdown, and Now, I guess I hear the Bahamas are starting to open up to cruisers again, but it's hurricane season. You really not the good time to go to the
Right. You have to
Bahamas.
have a negative COVID test, I believe, and then I think they'll let you back in. I right now would be very hesitant until the pandemic is feeling behind us, because if another wave comes, just seeing how many of our cruising fish friends got
Stuck
stuck in the
places.
Bahamas, I would be hesitant heading over until I felt that we were out of the woods on that.
Yes, it's
But
definitely.
definitely, we want to go there.
Yeah, I would love to. Now we got a very important question here. Because we have actually, even before the chat started, we had people asking, is Kiki going to make an appearance?
Uh-huh.
She's sitting here hoping, like, when are you taking me back in the van? That was so much fun.
Yes, she's looking forward to her next camping trip. Here's a Keekster. She's doing great. Oh, she's watching a boat go by.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yes, and Richard wanted to know if we have a mask for Kiki, and we thought about getting her a specific hat mask, but she doesn't really.
No, actually, because where we store the masks by the door to grab something fashionable as we head out is right under one of her favorite nap spots, and she'll just reach up a paw and grab a mask and pull it down. So every time we walk by the couch, she's got a different mask lying on top of her. She doesn't quite know it has to go in her mouth, but we always find her curled up with a different mask all the time, which has been adorable.
So Kiki made a special request. Can we turn the air conditioner back on?
Okay, let's see. Hopefully this is not too loud, but we'll see how much sound impact this is. It's Florida in summer. Okay.
Bill said, would we rather be on the boat or the RFV if you could only do one? So, number one, thank goodness we could only do one. What rule there is out there that says we can only do one? We have 3.
Yes.
But I
love them all.
I love them all for different reasons, but we are super thankful that for this extended time in one place that we have the boat, because the boat feels like a floating condo.
Yes. Yeah. For being the more you're the slower you're moving, the bigger the space that you want to live in is kind of something we've discovered in our years of RVing. Is when we were moving hyper fast in our first years on the road, that tiny 16-foot tab clamshell actually felt plenty big. But once we started having week-long stays instead of day-long stays, that started to feel small. And yeah, now that we're doing months-long stays, multi-months, having all this space to do different projects. We could make this a project room. We've got separate places to work. We've got a exercise bike downstairs. It's having space to spread out. We couldn't spread out like this in an RV.
Yeah, and I don't think I could do the extended stay at home most of the time thing in our bus.
It's looks like Sanford might be having some sort of Oktoberfest with outside live music.
That would be awesome.
Cool.
I know we were working. We had put the RV Crazy Krauts in touch with the Escapers to try to do an Escapers
official
convergence here along with Oktoberfest. I don't think that'll come together.
Maybe not this year, but yeah, certainly, Sanford is a perfect Escapers town, and this place, this town is now on the radar. So this is going to be a convergence someday. Here we got. Peaky point of Kiki got her dinner. Grand Meow wants to know.
Mom, what time is it? It's 7:30. If Kiki did not get her dinner, would we be?
Yeah, she would have disconnected the internet. She knows how to do that. So yeah, if we hadn't fed her before doing this live, there would be no
She
live.
did get dinner shortly after we got off the phone with you, Mom.
Yes. Welcome RV Wally to the Travato world. 2021 too. Ooh. Nice. And an L. Oh, we are so wishing we had a Travato L, the lithium version right now.
Yeah, we're majorly tempted to upgrade our Travato.
Yeah,
we're loving it so much that we think it's going to be worth the investment to get a brand new one with the lithium.
Yeah, maybe the 2022 model year or something like that. Because like we're just thinking about it as just how nice it is to have an air conditioner you can leave running without a generator.
And I want this in. Wally says she's 75 years young and looking forward to it. Mom, inspiration.
Yes, there's no age limit on RVing at all. Okay.
There was a question about Battleborn batteries up there.
Oh, here's Doug. Wants to know how the Battleborn batteries are working out.
No problems to report whatsoever on either system. The one underneath my butt here in the boat, or I'm assuming the ones on the bus are working fine.
Yeah, last time I checked on the remote monitoring, the bus was doing just fine, sitting in its, it's getting over 100 degrees in Arizona right now, but it's a dry heat. Whereas I guess
here
here
it's a humid,
wet
oppressive heat.
and yeah, the heat index was the other day was saying 130 something because it was like 85.
It was.
Yeah,
I think it was wrong. I hope it was wrong.
I don't know, because we had 95% humidity and it was in the 90s, and it felt like a sauna, and it was like, please send me back to the desert.
And he wanted to know the cost of the Battleborns. I think if you go to Battleborn's website, you can price out your system there. They've got their pricing all clearly disclosed there.
And here we got, is there a farmer's market in Sanford? Is that where you get our fresh veggies?
Yes.
There's actually a great farmer's market that has come back for the last few weeks.
Yeah, so every Saturday morning there's a little farmer's. Look at my flowers.
Oh, yeah. And it runs until the afternoon. It's not just in the morning.
Yeah, Saturday mornings and afternoons. So there's a fresh flower vendor that we've been getting.
She grows these in her backyard and brings them to the farmer's market.
So we've been spoiling ourselves with fresh flowers in the boat.
And there's a baker that has great gluten-free stuff.
There is a small vegetable table there where we can get some fresh vegetables. So we'll sometimes get some stuff there. Willow Tree, their marketplace there does carry some fresh vegetables, so we can get some there. Otherwise, we pretty much either have to go to a grocery store or Instacart grocery delivery our vegetables in. There's not as many options as I would like for local, within walking distance grocery shopping here in Sanford.
Yes. Yeah, there's a market, there's a grocery store that's a short walk away, but it's under new management theoretically and is being remodeled, and it would be amazing if a higher quality grocery store was in walking distance. But yeah, it's hard to get veggies and be walking, and we're walking people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. My mom wants to know if she gets our old Travato if we get a new one.
Yeah, maybe. We'll talk about it. We got Sharon wants to know, how long did we stay at Tomoka?
I think this time was 3 nights. So
3 nights.
Most of our stays we're doing 2 or 3 nights at a time because that's about the tank capacity of the van, because we don't want to use shared facilities if we can avoid it. So we are going with what basically one dump gets us, and that's 3 days comfortably. Yeah. And we're also researching getting the right electric bikes and bike rack for the Travato so that we can take bikes out with us. So we have a little bit more transport so that we can get out exploring away from the campsite without breaking.
Because at Tomoka, I love Tomoka. It's a beautiful campground. But after 3 days of walking that one campground loop over and over and over again, I don't think we really would have wanted a fourth. Maybe we would have rented a kayak or something and done some kayaking and stuff. But Richard here is one of Kiki's biggest fans, loves that people keep asking about Kiki. So, hey, Kiki asks about you on occasion. What else we got?
Milo wants to know what kind of batteries are we going to replace our RV batteries with. So I don't know if you're
talking... have to replace them again.
I don't know if you're talking about the bus or the van. The bus we put Battleborn in. The van still has the original, the AGM that came with the Travato?
I think it is an AGM that's underneath. It's just a generic battery. We were originally thinking of doing our own lithium upgrade to the Travato, but it's because it's basically a full electrical tear out and replace, because the Travato doesn't have a big inverter, and you'd want to do a lot of things.
So we've been putting that off, especially here in Florida, where we're going to be doing state parks or camping with friends who happen to have RV spots in their backyard. Where we're going to have power. It just hasn't been worth the effort to do that, especially when we're already thinking of a brand new Travato in the future.
Yeah, because we love the Travato design so much, and so many other things have improved. So it would, and having, because if you want to do the lithium right, you actually want to have it integrated with the engine, so you don't need a generator. The engine becomes your generator. And when it's done from the factory, the engine auto starts, and so you basically have infinite power. If you're in the parking lot and you need more power for the air conditioning, you'll just run the engine for a few minutes automatically, and it's all sorts of good stuff. So the Krauts are pointing out she didn't know about the flowers, but the vegetables, the vegetable vendor also sells at the Welcome Center throughout the rest of the week too. And we have not been to Todd's Tomatoes.
Yeah, we need to figure out where Todd's Tomatoes is.
Yeah. So Margot asks, if there is a second wave and convergence are canceled, are you planning to stay at our co-op park for the winter or travel around in Boondock.
Don't even know if we're going to play it by ear, Margot. And there's a possibility that we might not even go out to Arizona. We might just stay right here in Florida if there's a big second wave.
Yeah, it's her other things, or both, or something else, or don't know. And I think everybody in, just like you, we're all in the same boat. We should compare notes, and if any sort of bouncing together happens, that's great. But nobody knows what the fall's going to look like right now.
Yeah, playing it by ear. All we know for sure is we are in Sanford through the end of peak hurricane season, and we're going to evaluate things from there.
Yes, and the RV Wally says, "Do you have a tire pressure monitoring system for your Travato?"
It's built in.
It's actually every Travato has the tire pressure monitoring system built in. It's actually the ProMasters have it. But there's no easy display. It'll let you know if your pressure is too low, but you can't actually check the tire pressures. But if you replace the dumb built-in stereo with something more advanced, you can actually get a display on like the stereo we put in.
We put an Apple CarPlay. It's in the our Gear Center on the Technomadia blog.
One of the most important upgrades we did for the Travato is replace that really antiquated built-in stereo system with one of the better display, ties into CarPlay, and it also has the screen that lets us see our tire pressures. So it's nice, and didn't have to add any extra sensors because they're already built in. And and Margot says she's up in Canada, wants to return to the USA, doesn't know if it'll be allowed. I think it's more worried about Canadians deciding to build a wall to keep us infectious Americans out of Canada. That's, I think, the bigger concern. It's like, yes. I think Canada's mostly doing okay on the numbers right now.
Florida definitely isn't. Arizona definitely
I've heard people
isn't.
joking because in the beginning of the pandemic, Florida was turning away New Yorkers and was stopping New Yorkers at the border. Now people in New York are saying, hey, they're going to have to stop people from Florida coming to New York. So, I guess that's turnabout. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Florida's numbers aren't looking good right now. Well, here's to Florida. May Florida someday not live up to its reputation.
Some of the counties in Florida, like Orange County, just south of us, have made masks mandatory. Here in Seminole County, where we are, they just announced, they did their press conference late last week and said, no, they're not, even though our numbers have spiked in the last week.
Yeah. And most of the new cases here in Seminole are 20 to 30-year-olds who basically hit the bars when all the bars opened up. And these aren't just non-symptomatic people. There's quite a few people who are 20 years old and heading to the hospital right now here in Seminole County. It's like because they did the bar hopping thing. But that was not where we are in Sanford. That was down in Oviedo near University of Central Florida. Seems to be the new hotspot in our county, which we are watching very carefully.
Hey, it's the Geeks on Tour who are not on tour. They're also in a quarantine.
Yes. We should do a hangout together with you guys sometime on video and get to see how you're doing. Miss you guys.
And Kathy said it's only because there's more testing. And actually, no. In Seminole County, they actually announced they had not increased.
The testing has actually gone down, but the percent positive has gone way up. So we're watching our county in particular very closely, and the numbers in our county have been so mild. Have been doing good until the bars reopened, and now they've contact traced. They've said that most of these new cases have been traced back to 20 to 30-year-olds hitting the bars in Oviedo. Damn it. Our numbers were so low.
Yeah, I think we were getting something like less than 20 a day. Now we're getting 100, 150
Yeah,
a day.
And a lot of them are turning into hospitalizations. So really, you guys pay attention. Actually, pay attention to real statistics wherever you're at and nationwide and whatever your states are. Go look at them. Don't listen to the spins from the higher level. Go find the actual data. Because it's different in every state of how they're managing it in every county and stuff like that. And find out what are the big concerns. Because... well, yeah, anyway. We're all in the same pandemic.
Cindy Juggle Goddess wants to know, do the restaurants and bars close down at all in Florida? So in April, everything went to takeout only. And then phase one was they could go to 25% capacity inside. And that was in early May. And phase two came in early June. Where they could go up to 50% capacity and bars could open.
And I don't know whether the rules are that restaurants servers should be masked or not. I don't know whether that rule was relaxed, but seems like walking around town here, it's about 50% of the restaurants. Some of them are the staff is staying very masked, and some of them it's like nothing is. They don't even have their tables separated anymore. The tables are back to back, and way too close for comfort. So we pick our dining carefully, mostly out and takeout land.
Doing a lot of takeout, and we have a few restaurants where we'll go for like mid-afternoon in a shade tree.
Yes,
we're really liking Celery City. That's been our go-to spot.
Yeah, the Seoul and Sushi, our sushi and
you get our sushi. We can go there to the middle of the day. No one's there.
And some amazing.
They serve their food with masks on. So
yes,
it's been feeling pretty safe there.
Yes, outdoor dining, sushi, and great beer.
And poke bowls.
And so. Yeah, Sanford now has poke and sushi. We still need a Thai restaurant in town. Let whoever the powers that be know. There's a request for a Thai restaurant walking distance downtown Sanford.
Yep, that would be awesome. That would make pretty much.
We love this town. There's almost everything in walking distance except for a few things.
So Sabina says that restaurant workers have to wear masks and it's still 6 feet distance, but we're seeing some restaurants are not.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's a requirement or not, or if it's employer based. I know the Willow Tree is doing amazing with. I love every time we walk by the Willow Tree.
Everybody's masked.
Everyone on staff is masked, and we love that.
Sanford Brewing seems to be doing that. The Bricks and Mortar Winery that we felt actually comfortable going in there because people are staying masked. But there's other places. I don't want to name names, but there are other places that you walk in and you quickly turn around and walk out. So that's just the way it is.
Day Trader says he's laying low in his man cave until there's a vaccine, and that's looking to be a year off. And we've just decided to try to find
right balance.
Everyone has to find their balance in this, and I'm not going to put ourselves at unnecessary risk or high risk. But I also don't want to cook every single day either.
Yes. So. That's true. And I don't want to do dishes every single day. And, so you got to find the right balance.
And we have so much amazing takeout just steps from the boat. So
and certainly this is if you're paying attention again, this is not something that you want to get and then, I'm young enough that I'm not going to die because, we know people who are not much older than us who have spent much of the past several months on life support, so it can affect youngerish people, and even young people are having permanent damage a lot of times. So I don't want to get this. And get over it. So I'd rather.
We'll be using extreme caution, and we pretty much don't leave the boat without a mask.
Yes.
Heck, we sit on the boat with our masks.
That's just because you're smiling.
I like my masks.
Yeah, except for the fogging up the glasses bit, that's a bit of a problem. But...
Yeah, that's why I get ones with nose clips.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys for hanging out with us this evening. I think we're going on 45 minutes here, so unless there's any lingering last-minute questions here, we're probably going to say good evening to you all, and
hopefully I think we're getting set for a beautiful sunset, so we'll go outside and go for a walk.
Once it cools down.
Yeah, and this is the second, we're just now past the solstice, so the days are getting shorter. Winter is coming. Second day of summer, but winter is coming. Look at something.
The tell summer's here. It's like, wait a minute. What has the last 2 months been?
I know. Yes, Florida's weird. The seasons down here are strange. And good. And thank you so many people for joining us and popping in over here. And let's cheers to you all. Final toast. I hope you guys are having a nice Sunday night drink wherever you are. And stay safe, stay sane, have fun, and don't let the pandemic grind you down. Cheers.